Hey everyone, and welcome back to Miblix. Today we're diving into the incredible story behind one of the most successful animated sitcoms of all time, Family Guy. Today, Family Guy is known all around the world. The show has been running for more than 2 decades, produced hundreds of episodes, inspired countless memes, and introduced some of the most recognizable animated characters in television history. But what many people don't know is that Family Guy almost disappeared forever. Not once, but twice. The show was cancelled, abandoned, and nearly forgotten. Yet somehow, it managed to come back stronger than ever and become one of the biggest animated franchises in the world. So how did that happen? Let's find out. Our story begins with a young animator named Seth MacFarlane. Long before Family Guy existed, MacFarlane was obsessed with cartoons. As a child, he spent hours drawing characters and creating comic strips. Unlike most kids who simply watched cartoons for fun, Seth was fascinated by how they were made. He wanted to understand the art, the writing, and the animation behind them. His passion eventually led him to the Rhode Island School of Design, one of America's most respected art schools. While studying there, MacFarlane began creating animated short films. One of those projects would eventually change his life. The short was called The Life of Larry. It followed an average man named Larry and his intelligent talking dog. The film showed off MacFarlane's sense of humor and storytelling style. Later, he created another short called Larry and Steve. Once again, the focus was on a man and his talking dog. This short eventually found its way into the hands of executives at Fox. They immediately saw potential. Instead of asking for another short film, Fox asked MacFarlane something much bigger. Could he turn the concept into a television series? At just 24 years old, Seth MacFarlane suddenly had the opportunity most creators only dream about. And he took it. The original characters evolved dramatically. Larry became Peter Griffin. Steve became Brian Griffin. The world expanded. A wife was added. Children were added. And soon, the Griffin family was born. Peter Griffin became the lovable but clueless father. Lois became the voice of reason. Chris became the awkward teenage son. Meg became the family's often forgotten daughter. And then there was Stewie. At first, Stewie was completely different from the version many fans know today. He wasn't simply a sarcastic baby. He was designed as an evil genius. A miniature supervillain obsessed with world domination. In the earliest episodes, Stewie constantly plotted against his mother and dreamed of taking over the world. His bizarre personality immediately made him stand out. Even before the show became popular, many viewers considered Stewie the most memorable character. Family Guy officially premiered on January 31, 1999. Fox gave the show an enormous opportunity. The pilot aired directly after the Super Bowl. For any television series, this is one of the most valuable time slots imaginable. Millions of viewers were suddenly introduced to the Griffin family. The premiere was a success. Audiences enjoyed the show's fast-paced humor, pop culture references, and unique style of storytelling. One feature especially stood out. The cutaway gag. A simple conversation could instantly jump into a completely unrelated joke. Then the story would return as if nothing happened. This unusual structure became one of Family Guy's trademarks. But despite a promising start, problems quickly emerged. Fox repeatedly moved the show to different time slots. One week it would air at one time. The next week it would move somewhere else. Viewers struggled to keep track of new episodes. Ratings began to fall. In 2000, Fox canceled the series for the first time. Fans were disappointed. But surprisingly, the network decided to give the show another chance. Family Guy returned. Unfortunately, the same scheduling problems continued. Ratings once again suffered. Then, in 2002, Fox canceled the show for a second time. This time, it appeared to be over. Most cancelled shows never return. Once a network loses confidence in a project, that's usually the end. But Family Guy's story was different. Something unexpected happened. After cancellation, reruns of Family Guy began airing on Adult Swim. Suddenly, a whole new audience discovered the show. People who had never watched it before became fans. At the same time, DVD sales exploded. And this wasn't just a moderate success. It was massive. Millions of DVD copies were sold. The numbers were so impressive that Fox could no longer ignore them. The network realized something important. The problem wasn't Family Guy. The problem was how they had handled Family Guy. The audience had been there all along. Eventually, Fox made a decision that would become television history. In 2005, Family Guy officially returned. And this time, everything changed. The revival became one of the most successful comebacks in entertainment history. Ratings improved dramatically. The fanbase grew larger every year. The series expanded internationally. And Family Guy transformed from a cancelled cartoon into a cultural phenomenon. Over time, the show became one of Fox's biggest animated properties. But Family Guy's rise wasn't without controversy. Throughout its history, many critics accused the show of copying The Simpsons. The comparison was easy to understand. Both shows featured a dysfunctional family. Both aired on Fox. Both centered around an overweight father, a loving mother, and 3 children. As Family Guy became more popular, the accusations became louder. Some viewers claimed the series was simply a clone of The Simpsons. Even The Simpsons occasionally joked about the similarities. However, Seth MacFarlane argued that while the basic premise looked similar, the comedy styles were completely different. The Simpsons focused more on satire and character-driven stories. Family Guy focused on absurd humor, cutaway jokes, and rapid-fire references. Over time, both shows developed their own identities. Today, they are considered 2 of the most influential animated sitcoms ever created. Another remarkable story connected to Family Guy involves Seth MacFarlane himself. On September 11, 2001, MacFarlane was scheduled to board American Airlines Flight 11. Due to a scheduling mistake and arriving late, he missed the flight. That aircraft was later hijacked and crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The event became one of the most tragic moments in modern history. MacFarlane has spoken publicly about how close he came to being on that flight. Many fans still consider it one of the most unbelievable stories connected to the show's creator. Now let's look at a few interesting facts. Fact number 1. Seth MacFarlane was only 24 years old when Fox approved Family Guy. Fact number 2. Family Guy is one of the very few television shows that was cancelled twice and still became a major success. Fact number 3. Seth MacFarlane voices Peter Griffin, Brian Griffin, Stewie Griffin, and Glenn Quagmire. Many viewers don't realize that several of the show's most famous voices come from the same person. Fact number 4. Without strong DVD sales and Adult Swim reruns, Family Guy likely would have disappeared forever. Its fans literally helped save the show. Fact number 5. Stewie was originally intended to be much darker and more villainous than the version audiences know today. As the series evolved, writers shifted his personality toward comedy. Today, Family Guy stands among the most successful animated comedies ever produced. It survived cancellation. It survived criticism. It survived years of uncertainty. And against all odds, it became one of television's biggest success stories. What started as a small idea about a man and his talking dog eventually became a franchise recognized across the entire world. And that's what makes the story of Family Guy so fascinating. Not because it succeeded, but because it succeeded after almost everyone thought it had failed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the history of Family Guy, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Miblix, and let me know in the comments which animated series you'd like to see covered next. See you in the next video.